next part of what Asia was instead of Europe. So the end of I think it's the Third World War has begun. The end of the Third World War. The year is now officially 2000. However, unlike in our timeline, well, it has gotten more peaceful. The world has gotten more worse as well. The world is fractured. It's not united under any alliance, or there's no United Nations. Most of the world has been mostly drilled by expansion, conquering, but it has mostly been relatively peaceful compared to our history. However, the world is about to get way worse as nations are probably going to continue to get wiped off the map in this world. First is another North American war. It is Michigan versus Guyana. Guyana is a old colony of I think it's one of the African countries. However, Michigan will send its troops onto the border and start to invade Guyana. Guyana is completely shocked by this here. However, Michigan has far more people as well. The only problem is Michigan is mostly of Western European, meanwhile Guyana is mostly made up of Middle Easterners as demographics as well. Even then, Europeans and Middle Easterners all stem from the same ethnicity compared to Asians and South Asians, which are all different ethnicities, all different races as well. And modern Africans in this world are of course stemmed from Middle Easterners, as there were no as the world as basically the humanity was instead evolved to be in the Middle East, not Africa. So most of humanity is based on people from the Middle East. However, South Asians and East Asians and Southeast Asians are three distinct races. Meanwhile, Europeans eventually became a distinct race, and Sub-Saharan Africans eventually became a distinct race as well. Guyana continues to be invaded as well, and they are being defeated very easily by Michigan. Michigan is far more powerful than, but however, Scavia starts to help Guyana. They start to push back against Michigan and the borders as well. Scavia is a very powerful country. They are mostly consist of the southern United States, but they are still a very powerful country. They do push back Michigan to some degree as well here, and Michigan and Scavia now start to fight amongst themselves. Michigan starts to invade the Kentucky region of Scavia, and they start to invade this country relatively quickly. They start to invade parts of Scavia, which this is like a lesser populated area. However, this great war continues on as well. Yeah. They are unable to defeat both Scavia and Guyana as well. Yeah, Michigan tries and tries. However, the war has become pretty unpopular, and tons of young Michiganders are dying in the war. Michigan currently has around 127 million people, meanwhile Scavia has 112 million people, and Guyana only has 32 million as well. Scavia threatens to use nukes on many of the most populated cities as well. Yeah, without here, and here. And also one here. This causes the war to end, as many major cities were threatened by Scavia. Guyana will keep its independence as well, and the war is seen as a failure as well. And the president of Michigan resigns after a failed conflict that left 7 million dead throughout. That left 3 million dead throughout the early 2000s. Also in the early 2000s, Zonia collapses again. The Zonia collapses and loses this state. A new country is formed as well. This country is Bulgaria. Bolivia is now a new independent state, and the capital is around here. Yeah. Bolivia, and Zonia are now two separate countries. The original government of Sifa wants to reclaim the island area, to the original area which is around here. The government of Sifa funds a rebel movement in the original lands that was theirs. Here, they start to basically, and the Zaire Union is afraid of this. The Zaire Union was crippled by this war. This was supposed to be a union of the Chinese. However, the Sifis continue to expand further as well. How the Zaire army starts to go towards here. Zaire Union lost around 100 million people in the Great War, the most of any nation outside the Continental Union, where it has collapsed as a country. The Zaire Union, however, puts a stop to this. It actually starts to push back the Sifis army as well. Yeah. And basically, Sifis army is basically pushed back to the coast. The Sifis army eventually surrenders as well. Sifa has been put on international sanctions by the Zaire Union. However, no countries have gained territory as of now. Mostly countries losing territory. That's going to change very, very soon. As Garcia invades one of the oldest countries in the world, Elp. They set their armies on the borders, and they start to invade Elp as a country. Elp is a very weak country. They are amongst the weakest countries in all of Europe. They are a very poor and weak country. They invade most of the lands here, and they even get towards this capital city. Yeah. Elp surrenders is defeated relatively quickly. Yeah. As Garcia takes half of the country's land. Yeah. But yeah, Elp is now pushed back to over here. Despite them originating over here, they're now pushed back to over here. The equal government was now votes the first democratic election ever. Votes in there are two radical candidates. One is a nationalist. There are four candidates. One's a nationalist. One is the old socialist government. 3 is a radical left party. And 4 is the centrist party. However, the centrist and left party do not really gain much traction. The nationalist party gains the most. Equals new government wants to reclaim its glory lands back, which is mostly the countries that have gained their independence as well. However, the W Alliance puts the new Equals government on hold, saying, wait, you're about to do this again? We just ended a war fighting you. Bosai agrees, and all 3 countries start to invade Equal. This country should not exist. Despite it being the oldest native European country in the world, Bosai starts to send its military in to invade Equal. Equal does not like the fact that these countries are intervening. Also, Dante leaves the W Alliance. We'll fix that later. The W Alliance still exists, but it's just 4 countries as well. The W Alliance, the other 2 members of the W Alliance sends aid to Fuseka as well, which is a colony of the Middle Eastern countries. It starts to invade Poland or Equal as well. They start to invade with the help of Nicaea as well here, and all 3 countries cannot really do anything about it. One last country that wants land out of this is Sisa, one of the older countries in the world. They start to invade Equal as well here, and Yeah, and this area part of Equal, which is the more rural part of Equal, as they never really truly settled this area all too much, is defeated. Fuseka makes its way towards the most populated regions as well. Equal's army has not really recovered since the war, and Sisa sent its military towards here as well. Equal's government officially surrenders as well, and they officially surrender in the war. Equal is abolished as a state as well. This country will no longer exist and is deemed too dangerous to exist in Europe. However, one country voiced opposition to Equal's defeat. Here, that was the country of Monama. And a peace treaty will be made. The first is an independent, is a new country that has not been seen on the map. This is new country treaty. First is a new country. Equal will be split up. There will be 4 new countries formed. Here, these 4 countries will exist. The rest will go to its neighboring states. However, there is a piece of land that is unclaimed. Fuseka establishes this as a puppet state. Kea, which is a puppet state of Fuseka, is formed. South Equal and North Equal are created. North Equal will be managed by the Bosai government. Meanwhile, Fuseka will manage South Equal. Meanwhile, these 2 states will be 2 entirely new states. Mekai, which is a new culture that was formed under the Soviet government. And also, this country. Zap, which is a new government, a new country that was formed here. So that is it about this new episode here. Wars have happened in the early 2000s as well. New countries being formed, Equal being split up, a war between Scavia and Michigan, and of course, even a rebellion in the Xenia Union. And that's what this video here. Goodbye.